What? Oh, okay, okay, I messed up my intro. Anyway, what's good, guys? It's me, Gerald the Weeper, back again with another video. Okay, this is what if Midoriya was transported to ReZero Part 2. It's probably only going to be 15 minutes or 10. Depends. Yeah, I couldn't find any good images, so yeah. Anyway, let's get straight into the what if. I'll be making my Asta, what if he got transported to ReZero, then I forgot what I was going to make Wednesday, but I know it's going to be probably Anyos. But I'll go, you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, let's get straight into the what if. Again, now, we're now back to the My Hero world. Now, it's now been a couple hours since Midoriya has disappeared. And All Might is starting to, he feels something inside of him. And I'm talking about Satella. He feels something weird. Like she's grabbing at his heart or something. And he doesn't know what's grabbing at him. Or is it like this pain he feels? He feels like he's going to die every time he says where's Midoriya at? And it's envy Satella. And All Might starts to actually see her. And he's just saying, what is this? Is this a hidden quirk of the One for All? That has to be it. No one else can see her. And he says, who are you? And Satella, it's Envy Satella. It says, envy, 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 envy. You placed it into him. Envy. I almost said Angelian. I don't know why. Envy. And All Might is like, what are you on about, woman? Do you know where Midoriya is? And she starts to walk away. Envy. Envy. And keeps saying envy to All Might. And All Might says, you do know where Midoriya is. Where is he? I need him. Please, can you bring him back here? I beg. And he starts to get down on his knees and he says, please. He needs to become the #1 hero here. He needs to get rid of his sin. Envy. Envy. Yeah. Yes, this Satella is annoying. And All Might tries to chase after her. But, this Envy Satella, yeah, she ain't playing around. Yeah, she grabs All Might with the hands. And she says, it's been multiplied. And she throws him away. And he gets broken out of the illusion he sees, or the Satella's dimension. And he noticed that he's now in the My Hero, the UA school. I don't know why I was about to say My Hero Academy. That's not what it's called, right? Is it? I'll just call it UA. Anyway, UA. And he goes to back looking for Midoriya, or he's trying to find Satella too. But anyway, that's what All Might has been doing ever since Midoriya disappeared. You'll see inputs from All Might and see how he's handling without Midoriya for now. Tell me in the comments if you guys want that in the future or just this one-time thing. Okay, now it's back to Elsa and Midoriya and Puck and Amelia. Okay, now back to Elsa and stuff. So Midoriya, after he tells with Puck, he says he wants to fight with Puck, and not like fight each other, but fight Elsa. So Puck and Midoriya team up, and Amelia's there in the back, just like moving around with Puck. And Midoriya then charges right at Elsa, and he uses a 10% of his One for All to do an air push on, from when he was fighting, those YouTubers. I don't know. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness, it's so funny. Okay, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Anyway, so like I was saying, it does move her back a little bit, but it doesn't really harm her. So he knows that he has to use at least over 10% to do damage on her. So he uses 15%. And he lands a good body blow on her. And she says, that's not bad, but you can do better. And Puck then shoots the icicles where Midoriya couldn't get hit, and it then scratches Elsa's face. And Midoriya saying, okay, she can get injured, and he runs at Elsa, and he tries to use his shoot style this time with 15%, and she kept blocking all of his kicks, and she was then about to slice at his leg, and almost she was trying to cut it off, but Amelia steps in the way. Okay, sorry for the bad edit. My brother walked in. You know, they always do that. So anyway, so Midoriya then gets saved by Amelia because she shoots icicle. Her ice mana magic, you could say, at Elsa, where she had to divert her course of trying to cut off Midoriya's leg. And Midoriya says, "Thank you." And Amelia says, "You need to focus on the battle." And Midoriya says, "Yeah, they probably still hate me." And Midoriya says, "Hopefully Felt just went to go get help and she didn't run away. I wouldn't blame her though. I used to be very weak too. But with All Might's power, I'm so powerful. But even this power of mine, I still don't even know how to control it." And he's saying this in his head. And Midoriya just lets Puck keep attacking. And Puck is starting to disappear. And Amelia says, "What is your name?" And Midoriya says, "Izuku Midoriya. If you wouldn't mind telling me your name." And she says, "Okay, Midoriya, Puck looks like he's about to run out of his magic for today. So it's going to be up to us to finish him. Finish up for him." I kind of got my words confused. Sorry about that. And Midoriya says, "All right then." And Midoriya says, "Okay, maybe I should use my strongest attack then." And Midoriya sees that Puck used his final attack to trap Elsa in ice, and he goes his full 20%. And when Elsa broke out of the ice, he landed a 20% one for all punch right on her face, and she actually flies a little bit. Not like to the point of like she goes through something, but she just flies for a second, and she hits the back of the of the tavern thing, and she says, "That was a good punch." And Midoriya says, "That's only 20% of my power. You better be lucky. For now, I'm not going all out. Now I'm telling you, please stop attacking us, and you can just go on your merry way. We don't have to keep fighting. I don't want to keep fighting." And Elsa says, "You're too naive, boy. You're so too young. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I'm getting sleepy all of a sudden. I don't know why. Anyway, Elsa keeps saying, you're still too young. You still have a pure heart. And that's so adorable. And I'm going to cut out your guts now. Now that guardian spirit is gone." And Amelia says, "Don't ignore me." And she keeps shooting ice at Elsa. And Elsa said, "I'm getting quite annoyed with this. I need to finish off one of them." And she tries to go for Midoriya, but Midoriya uses another 20%, and his air push, and it actually pushes her back, and she then gets cut by Amelia's icicle. And Midoriya was starting to actually feel the effects of those two punches. And he said, why is my body already starting to hurt? I need to keep going. I shouldn't rely on this." He doesn't know what to call Amelia, this white-haired woman. And Midoriya then says, "Not Amelia. I mean, white-hair woman. You should get out of here. I can handle this from here. And you should probably go get help. I think I can handle it." And yeah, Amelia just says, "You should go get help." And Midoriya was like, "I should just keep fighting then." So Midoriya kept fighting, and he kept using his 20% on Elsa, and Elsa started to predict his patterns, and then he tried to use his shoot style, and she started to catch on to those, kicks, and Elsa was also being damaged, but not to the point where she was starting to get worried. And she says, "Okay, that is enough." And and she catches Midoriya off guard, and she's about to land a direct hit on his heart, but then someone jumps in the way. And Midoriya says, "Is that All Might?" And then he opens up his eyes again. He says, "I legit almost died, but who is this man? I guess he's a knight or something." And Reinhard looks at Midoriya and Amelia. He says, "Amelia, thank you for holding off Elsa, and you too, young." And Izuku says, "Midoriya." He says, "Okay, Midoriya, I'll handle Elsa from here." So Reinhard basically kind of does the same thing he does in the anime. He starts to overpower Elsa, and he doesn't go out all out. Okay, his full power on Elsa, and he kicks her right in the waist, and he pulls out a sword from one of the from out behind the tavern, and he destroys half of it. And Midoriya was just in shock that all of this happened. In just a couple of minutes, he was able to overpower her. And Midoriya says, "Why am I so weak? How was he able to do this? I have All Might's quirk and I can't even do anything to her without destroying my body, I bet." And Reinhardt, yeah, like I said, he uses his his attack from the loot house where he destroys it. And Midoriya sees Felt is there, and he says, "Why are you back? You should have stayed away." And Midoriya is trying to distract himself from Reinhardt because he's just amazed that he's able to do all that without having any type of like quirk. And yeah, sorry for that a small pause. And Reinhardt then turns away after he. Okay, yeah. So Elsa is still alive. She didn't get killed off in this video. She, like I said, the same things that happened in the ReZero one. It happens here, and she's hiding. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going back to what I was saying earlier. And Reinhardt says, "Okay, I'm pretty sure she's dead after that." And Midoriya says, "Are you sure?" And Reinhardt says, maybe. Anyway, I want to thank you for holding off Elsa, the vampire. She's been quite of trouble individual for a minute. Oh wait, Reinhardt doesn't sound like that. I'm sounding like how I sound. My bad. Anyway, and Midoriya then passes the insignia to Foe, and he says, "Apologize to this white-haired woman." And he then noticed Amelia, then says, "My name's Amelia." And Midoriya says, "Oh, finally. Well, I just want to apologize too. I should have gave you your insignia and stopped Felt right there, and this probably wouldn't have happened, where you almost could have died. But I thank you for saving my life too, and your guardian spirit." And as everyone is looking at Amelia, Elsa comes out at the side, so where she could she busts out of the rubbish, and she runs right at Amelia. And Midoriya is the first one to see this, and Reinhardt was about to use his one of his guardian spirits to repel Amelia away from that attack, but Midoriya sees this and he goes 100% into his punch, and he uses it as a, like I said, as an air pool. And Elsa sees that he's charging up a strong attack, and she throws her dagger right at Midoriya, and it slices his his gut, but it's not to the point where it's going to kill him. And she gets pushed, actually goes through the destroyed loot house, and she goes flying away. And Midoriya's arm is now broken, and he's surprised that he's still up on his feet, and he slips onto the ground. And Amelia was just shocked that Midoriya just sacrificed his arm just to save her. And Reinhard says, "I'll go and try to find where she is." And he runs in the direction where Elsa went off to, and he couldn't find her, but she escaped. Yeah, so Elsa will be coming back soon, and Midoriya will be the one to kill her. I'm just telling you that. Anyway, Reinhard then comes back and he says, "I lost her. I'm sorry about that, Midoriya." And Midoriya saying, "You really should have just killed her. I can't believe I'm actually saying this. You let that dangerous woman go free." And Reinhardt says, "I apologize. Is your arm going to be alright?" And Midoriya saying, "It's going to be alright." And he then falls. He starts to get a little bit sleepy. He said, "I just need to rest. Now, please, I just need somewhere to stay. Can you please just get me somewhere? I don't know how to read in this world, and I don't know how to do a lot of things. I don't know where I even am. All I know is this place is Lagunica." And he then passes out from using the 100%. He usually doesn't passes out after 100%, but he's been using a couple of the 20% too with it. And he passes out. And Felt is still holding the insignia. And you know the same thing in the anime. Reinhardt starts to freak out about that. And Amelia then helps Midoriya and takes him back to the Roswell mansion so he can get treated because she couldn't heal his arms, and she needed help from Beatrice. Now we're over to the mansion. I'm pretty sure you should be able to see Beatrice. Okay, anyway, now Midoriya wakes up and he then gets out of the bed and he says, "Oh, I guess one of them took me back to their home to let me rest. I need to thank them, but I need to keep moving. I'll rest up for another day or so, or 2 days, and then I need to find where All Might is and the other heroes, or try to figure out a way to get back there." And he walks around for 5 minutes, and he opens up a door on accident, and he sees someone in there. It looks like someone he's never met before, and it's Beatrice. And he's saying, "Why is there a child in here?" And Beatrice says, "Why are you out of your bed? Just leave me alone." And Midoriya says, "You shouldn't be so rude as a young person. Making Midoriya sound old. As a child, you should be happy." And Beatrice didn't take that lightly, and she says, "I'm older than you. Now leave me alone." And Midoriya says, "I know you're joking, but you should be a lot more happier." And she says, "How about you go away? Like I said, before I do something, you will regret." And Midoriya gets closer and he says, "You should stop being violent." Anyway, where's Amelia? And Beatrice says, "That girl, I don't know where she is. Now go away, leave me alone." And Midoriya says, "What is your name?" And he keeps asking these questions. And Beatrice did the same thing that she did to Subaru. But this time it's kind of different. She presses her hand on his stomach, and Midoriya says, "What are you doing?" And she tries to sense where his mana is, but she doesn't sense anything. But she does see images of the One For All users. And then she sees Satella, and she backs away. And she runs all the way to the back of her library. And he says, "What happened? Did I do something wrong?" And she says, "The witch was right there. The witch of envy." And Midoriya says, "What is this witch of envy?" Satella. And Beatrice then explains what Satella is. And Midoriya says, "Why would she want to hurt so many people? I know I know it happened 400 years ago, but geez. And you're saying she's right by me?" And Midoriya says, she must be a part of this somehow, how I got here. But why would a witch of envy want with me? He doesn't question it anymore. He thinks it's Satella that's doing this. And he says, so do you know what Satella's power is? And he then starts to have heart pain. And he says, what is this? What is this pain? And he starts to, like, not like a panic attack, but you know how Subaru felt when Satella was squeezing at his heart. And All Might kind of feels the same thing too. In All Might's world, you could say. I mean the UA world. And Midoriya says, I'm going back to sleep. I'm sorry for bothering you. And yeah, Beatrice just says her name, and Midoriya says, I'm going back to sleep. I'm sorry for bothering you again. And yeah, he passes out in the hallway from the pain. And now Midoriya then woke up again, and he noticed something was on his hand. It was black, and it was wrapping around his hand, and he's saying, what is this black thing around my hand? And he looks up and he sees two maids. Yeah, he sees Rem and Ram. And then they order to tell Amelia what's going on. And Amelia walks in and sits on the chair. And is just saying, like you said, I brought you here because you needed to heal up, and I couldn't heal your wound, and you saved my life. And she thanks him. And Midoriya says, it's a hero's job. And Amelia then says, well, you need to meet the person who owns the mansion. And Midoriya then looks outside the window, and he sees how big this mansion is. And he says, oh yes, I would like to meet him. Maybe he has a lot of influence or something. And yeah, that's why Ram is just there. I don't know where Rem is. She's off being weird or something. I don't know. She's probably cutting some potatoes. Anyway, now Roswell he doesn't know Midoriya shouldn't be here. It should be another person. And Roswell is just saying, there's a new guest. Okay, I can't sound like Roswell. Yeah, he slurs his words way too much for me. Anyway, he's saying, now what should I do for your compensation for saving Amelia's insignia? That was her qualifications to become the queen of this of Lagunica. And Midoriya says, she's like a princess or something, and that's what Midoriya is saying. And Roswell says, I guess so, if you put it that way. Like I said, kid, you look quite young. I don't know, you should be getting back to your family or not. And he's saying, you could stay here, or, I don't know, just ask for what you need. And Midoriya says, I have no idea where I'm at. I would like to stay here as a guest. I might help around with cleaning and stuff. I can clean too. So Roswell says, okay, you are a guest and a / butler. Okay, I can work with that. But Midoriya says, I want to leave in a couple hours though. I need to figure out what's up with this land. I'll be coming back here soon. And he's saying, do you need a carriage? You are a guest for this house from now on. You can come back at any time. And Amelia says, you should still heal up. And Midoriya is like, no, I need to find where my teacher is. And I need to contact my mother too. She might be worried about me. And Roswell says, okay, fine with me. You can leave as soon as you want, but you can always come back here. So Midoriya gets ready, and he finds Beatrice's room again, and he says bye to her. And he says, thank you for telling me about the witch. I'll keep an eye out on her, for her. And you don't need to be scared. Just call for me, and I'll help. Yeah, that's what he says to Beatrice. Then she just blows him out of the window. Yeah, she doesn't like Midoriya in this what if. And he then goes outside and he waves goodbye to Amelia and Rem and Ram.